Good morning. In the previous section, we have discussed some of the examples on the three-phase induction motor, that is module 3. So in today's lecture, again we will discuss some more examples on the different topics of three-phase induction motors. So again directly I will bring you to the particular examples. So we are going to solve now. So in this case, let us move this to this particular example, that is example 6.3. Example 6.3. So in this case, a 400 volt star connected 3-phase 6-pole 50 Hz induction motor has following parameters referred to the stator. So the following are the RS is equal to RI dash, that is equal to 1 ohm, XS is equal to XI dash, and that is equal to 2 ohm. For regenerative braking operation of this motor, determine one is maximum overhauling torque it can hold and range of speed for safe operation. Second, speed at which it will hold an overhauling load with a torque of 100 Newton meter. Third, maximum overhauling torque the motor can hold as a ratio of maximum overhauling torque without capacitor if a capacitive reactance of 2 ohm is inserted in each phase of the stator. So please remember, we are going to solve this example based on the regenerative type of braking. So what is asked here directly, maximum overhauling torque is asked. That is nothing but the maximum torque energy it is asked, and corresponding speed for the safe operation is asked. First point. So in order to have that particular maximum torque, please remember this is overhauling torque, nothing but maximum torque. Don't confuse. So we need to have this formula. What is that formula? T max is equal to 3 II dash square RI dash divided by S divided by omega ms. So this particular example, the formula for T max. So in this case, what we need? So we need S. RI dash is given. We need S. RI dash divided by S. That is slip. Then we need omega ms. Omega ms is also given, and then we need II dash. So in order to have that T max overhauling torque, we need to calculate all these parameters. So omega ms, that is whatever the motor speed is there, it is 104.72. 104.72. So again, then how you calculated this omega ms? It is again ns is equal to 120 f divided by p. So based on that, we can calculate omega ms. Now for regenerative braking operation from equation 6.12. So please see the performance analysis of that particular three-phase induction motor. That is whatever the equivalent circuit we have seen. So there we have derived an expression for SM, that is maximum slip. We have derived expression for TM and so on. So from that equation number 6.2, we can have SM is equal to minus RI dash divided by under square root RS square plus XS plus XI dash square. So here if you put these values, you will get minus 0.242 as a SM. So once you get SM, next we go for II dash. So this II dash is what? Again the rotor current again. So this is V divided by under square root RS plus RI dash divided by S square plus XS plus XI dash square. So again you have to put the value, you will get II dash. So after getting these two, we can get a T max, that is minus 244.5 Newton meter. Now this is the maximum overhauling torque motor can hold. Now we need to get the speed for safe operation. So in this speed case, in this thing, whatever the expression is there, speed at which torque is maximum. So it is 1 minus Sm into synchronous speed. So in order to have that speed at which the torque is maximum, we need to have this particular expression. This is 1 minus Sm into synchronous speed. So put the values. So we'll get 1 minus Sm is again 0.242 minus plus into synchronous speed, it is 1000. So it is around 1242 RPM. So what we need to observe is stable operation during regenerative braking occurs from synchronous to speed at which the torque is maximum. So at this particular, so whatever the stable operation is there, it is taken place. So therefore, the range of speed for safe operation will be from, so it is 1000 to 1242. So it is the range of speed for safe operation. Now second, speed at which it will hold an overhauling load with a torque of 100 Newton meter. So next, in this second case, we need to calculate again the speed. Here, in order to have that particular, so please see this thing. Second, we have this motor speed as 1063. So in order to have that, the condition is T is equal to TL. Here you can see this. At steady state operation, what is the condition? So it is the steady state condition. It should be T is equal to TL. T is equal to TL. So if you take T is equal to TL, we have the formula for T as 3y omega ms v square r dash divided by s, denominator rs plus r dash divided by s square plus s plus xi dash square. So it is equal to TL, again the load torque you can say. So this TL is given at this particular 100 Newton meter. We need to have the particular speed. So now 1 divided by 104.72. So just by putting the values here, 400 square into 1 by s, and so on. So here we have value, two values for slip. S is equal to minus 0.957 and minus 0.063. So if you put S is equal to minus 9.57, will give an unstable operation, because if I take this S as 0.957, and if I just multiply, this is the percentage you can say. So with the 100, it will be again something 1.957. So if I multiply that particular slip with the speed, so then it will be around 1900. So it is unstable operation. So we need to take the second value. What is that? Minus 0.063. And if you take this and if you multiply with the particular speed of the motor, so it is around 1063. So it is, we can say, the stable operation, because whatever the range is there, it is between 1000 to 1242. So it is stable operation. So this is the particular speed of the motor. Next, third point. So in the third point, what is asked here? So maximum overload torque the motor can hold as a ratio of maximum overload torque without capacitive reactance of 2 ohm is inserted in each piece of the stator. So in the third case, just we need to have the value of that particular capacitive reactance, XC. So SM, the formula for SM is this thing, minus R dash divided by under square root RS square plus XS plus XI dash plus XC square. Here we are just adding XC. We are just adding the XC. So by adding that XC, whatever the SM is, that is minus 0.447. Now again go for IR dash. IR dash again it is 98.2. Then by taking that IR dash and particular SM, we need to calculate Tmax. So this is minus 618 Newton meter. So if you take this particular Tmax dash divided by Tmax, minus 618 divided by minus 244.5, previously what we got in the particular first case. So the whatever ratio is there, it is 2.53. So presence of capacitor increases maximum braking torque as it is 2.53 times. 2.53 times. So this is the ultimate solution of the particular example. So now we'll move towards the next example. Example number 6.4. Example number 6.4. So in this case, again, take the example. Motor of example 6.3, whatever previously we have discussed. So that motor is to be braked by plugging from its initial full load speed of 950 rpm. So it is the initial full load speed 950 rpm. So at this particular condition, if you have that plugging and whatever the stator to rotor turns ratio is 2.3. So now please remember it is stator to rotor turns ratio. Calculate the initial braking current. We need to have the initial braking current and the torque as a ratio of their full load values. Torque as a ratio of their full load values. So second, what resistance must be inserted in rotor circuit to reduce the maximum braking current to 1.5 times the full load current. 1.5 times the full load current. And what will be the initial braking torque now? So after this condition, so what will be the initial braking torque is asked. So again, consider this is again a particular normal condition of the motor. So at again initial whatever the slip of the motor is 0. So when it takes a particular speed, so at that time again the speed, slip of the motor will increase is equal to 1. So in this case, what is asked? One is initial braking current is asked. So this is initial braking current and torque as a ratio of their full load value is asked. So now, in order to have that initial braking current, so we need to see the formula first. This is the formula for initial braking current. What is that? I dash is equal to V divided by under square root. So it is again the particular 1 plus 1 by 1.95 square plus 2 plus 2 square, 2 plus 2 square. So in this case, I dash is the initial braking current. So now full load current we can calculate now. Now full load current we can calculate. So it is again full load current. In order to have that full load current, again it is V under square root. So 1 plus 1 divided by 0.05 square plus 2 plus 2 square, and this is your 10.8 ampere. This is full load current, full load current. Now full load torque TF is equal to, again by using this 3 I dash square again, so 1 divided by 0.05. So again whatever the 0.05 is there, it is again the slip, and again divided by 104.72. So this is your full load torque. Now in plugging slip for 950 rpm, slip for this particular speed 950 rpm will be 2 minus 0.05, it is 1.95. So the slip it is now the change, it is 1.95. So initial braking current I dash will be, again by putting all the values, just by replacing this 0.05 by 1.95, it is 54 amperes. 54 amperes. Now take the ratio of that particular I dash to the I dash F full load. So now it is 5. It is 5. The ratio is 5. Now initial braking torque, it is just by putting the values here. Initial braking torque, this is full load torque. Now initial braking torque, it is 3 into 54 square into 1 divided by 1.95. Again 104.72. 104.72. It is omega ms. 104.72 is omega ms. So now take the ratio T by TF, it is 0.64. So note that although current has increased 5 times, Please remember, whatever the current is there, it is 10.8 in this case, and after this particular plugging, so it is taken place as a 54. It is approximately 5 times more. So please see here, note that although current has increased 5 times, torque has reduced by a factor of 0.64. Now the torque has reduced by a factor of 0.64. So in this case, whatever the ratio is there, it is 0.64. Now, second, what the resistance must be inserted in rotor circuit. So we need to calculate that resistance value Re to reduce the maximum breaking current to 1.5 times full load current. So it is a condition. 1.5 is the condition. What will be initial breaking torque afterwards? So now, in order to have that particular resistance value Re in the rotor circuit, so please again have that particular formula I dash. It is V divided by Rs plus. So here what we are doing, we are just adding the external resistance. So in the rotor circuit, so it is Rr dash plus Re dash divided by 2 minus S as it is. So plus XS plus XI dash square. So now where Re is the stator referred value of Ra. Ra dash is the stator referred value of Ra. Now we need to calculate this particular. So Ra dash we need to have. So just put the values here. So it is a condition, whatever the condition is there, 1.5 times the full load value. So it is the 1.5 into 10.8 is equal to the remaining is the same. So now if you take that and get the value of Re, so just we can get Re dash as this thing. Ra dash is equal to 1.95 underscore root this thing 23.73. So now we need to have this Re. Now we need to have this particular rotor resistance, okay, external resistance. Now it is Ra dash. We got Ra dash divided by 2.3. What is this? It is the stator to rotor turns ratio 2.3 square, and it is Ra as 4.486. This is the external resistance we need to add. Now again the torque, what will the initial breaking torque? So just by taking the values 3 into 1.5 into 10.8, it is the current, whatever the full load current is there. So into 24.73 divided by 1.95 and divided by 104.72. 4.7. So it will be 95.35 Newton meter. And if you take the ratio P by TF, now it is increasing 1.427. So use of external resistance reduces current from 5 times to 1.5 times full load current. Again, the torque is increased from 0.64 to 1.427 times full load torque. It is during the plugging operation. So hope you understood this particular example. So here again we have calculated two parameters considering the previous example, whatever the parameters taken. So these are the main values. So next we'll discuss one more example. Again, yes. This is the example, very simple example, we can say 6.5. A 440 volt 50 hertz 6 pole Y connected wound rotor induction motor has following parameters referred to stator. An external resistance is inserted into the rotor circuit so that maximum torque is produced at Sm is equal to 2. Maximum torque is produced at Sm is equal to 2. The motor, which was initially operating on no load, is being braked by single phase AC dynamic braking with 3 lead connection. Calculate the braking current and the torque as a ratio of their full load values for 950 RPM. So it is again based on the AC dynamic operation of the motor with 3 lead connection. So what is asked here? So here braking current is asked, okay, and the torque as a ratio of their full load value is asked. So we need to understand what is that particular AC dynamic braking. Okay, so we have seen the 2 lead connection as well as 3 lead connections. So here in this case in order to have that particular breaking current first, okay. So there three lead connection, it is again okay, yes. So it is again in the again single paging what we have discussed. We are having the positive sequence and the negative sequence components. The same way we need to resolve here. So in order to have that particular breaking current, whatever the finally we are getting here. So this is the, let us say, breaking current IF. So in order to have that particular IF, so what we need to have, we need, this is the basic. Yes, this is the IF. Here he has calculated. So before calculating that IF, we need to resolve the components as the positive as well as the negative sequence components. Okay. So again, we need to have that ZP positive sequence impedance, then negative sequence impedance. Again, that current, okay, in the positive sequence, just by taking that, and then we can calculate that TP. In the similar way, we need to have Zn, In, and again II dash n and the Tn and the Tn. So here, in order to have that positive and negative sequence, first we need to have the SM. SM, what is it? Maximum slip. So now this is the formula for maximum slip. Ri dash divided by under square root Ri square plus xs plus xi dash square. So now for SM is equal to, this is the condition. We just put the value here 2. So Ri dash we need to calculate that rotor resistance. So this is the 4.9 rotor resistance. Now synchronous speed, it is 120 divided by P, it is 1000 RPM. Now whatever the slip is there, so it is 1000 minus 950 to 1000, it is 0.05. So from the equivalent circuit of figure 6.17, so again initial whatever the torque characteristics we have studied, impedance of positive sequence part of the equivalent circuit is. So this is the again impedance of the positive sequence part. So Rs plus Jxs. So we need to take two particular circuits. In this case, it is Jxm RRS plus Jxr dash and R dash divided by S plus Jxr dash plus Xm. So here we are taking yes. So this is positive sequence. So just for putting all the values, you have to calculate Zp, and again similarly by taking that Zp, we need to calculate Ip. And then I dash P. It is Ip into Jxm divided by R dash S plus Jxr dash plus Xm. So now, after calculating that, go for Tp. Similarly, Zn, in the Zn, we need to have 2 minus S and In, I dash N, and then Tn, and then Tn. So once you calculate all these, we need to have that particular torque, resultant torque, net torque, you can say. So it is 7.24 minus 123.7. So now again, motor current I is, again, it is the phasor sum of Ip plus In. So now it is 45.83. 45.83. This is 45.83. Yes. Now go for IF.